Right, it is Eliminations now for VW Pro. Luke Stevenson tuned in from sunnier climes. Actually, it's a bit of an overcast day today. Not scorchingly hot either. A lot more pleasant. But morning, Luke. Hope you're keeping well, buddy. Hope you're enjoying your break. He's looking at his at the screen and going, "No, I'm hating it. I'm hating it. I'm hating it. I want to be here. I want to be here." But this is Sam Young. Should have been alongside Lee Caudry, but unfortunately Lee broken yesterday. So Sam taking it all the way through. He dials in 950, gets 904. Yes, quickest run so far for BC4. So close to the H1 again, and that was trouble-free as well. 147 miles an hour at the stripe. Very well done indeed there to Sam. Right, the number one fan of Carl Goldsmith is Luke Stevenson. He's already messaged me saying, "Come on, Carl, come on, Carl." Graham Fairhead is Carl's opponent, and he dials in 11.10. Carl dials in 1150. Oh, and Carl breaks off the line, unfortunately. So it is Graham Fairhead off for a Sunday morning drive up the quarter mile. And his destination is the second round, 11.44. And Luke now just going to drown his sorrows in the swimming pool as we think Graham Fairhead is now marching towards the championship because he gets a bye in the next round. Right, 11.20. The dial in for James. Rob dials in 12.70. Well, that's decided on the start, and there Rob Carter goes red by 0-2, so it doesn't really matter what James runs. The win light already on his lane, uses a test and tune run, 11.78 at 116. James already through due to the red light from Rob. Right, next up then, Jake Fronder with the Audi TT, going alongside Chris Waterhouse with the Audi S3. 0.9 of a second difference on the dial-ins. It would be Jake leaving first, looking for that 11.9. There he goes. And Chris Waterhouse, 11 flat, his dial-in. $12.26 lose out for Jake. It's Chris Waterhouse that goes through, 11.19. Win margin 0-1 at the stripe. That was close. Phil Blogg should have been alongside Charlie Roberts with the 5-up, but unfortunately 2 cylinders down. Only 3 of them left. So unfortunately Charlie not able to make the call this morning. So it is Phil Blogg going to be on his own for this one. Dials in 1170. Doesn't matter what he runs. He's just take it easy. He's got James Hodson in round 2. $15.13. What he gets in the end. Jonathan Newell with the Lagster, 12.35 is darling. Jacob Bailey, 10.97 in the Auto Glimnane, his number. Well, Jacob closing in, but has he got enough at the stripe? Well, it's a double breakout, a 10.65 for Jacob, Weston over 3/10 under, but breaking out by just about a tenth So it's the Lagster that goes through. So Jonathan Newell will be racing Sam Young in the next round. Simon Crowley and Dave Crowhurst. Simon 10.50, Dave 10.20. Both of these cars can run 9s, so they're both treating it a little bit more gently. Problems there for Simon Crowley. So Dave Crowhurst on his way and out. 9.54 at 141. A monster breakout. So Simon Crowley, although he's limping up towards the finish line, he's the one that takes the win. It's a funny old game, this drag racing malarkey. Right, on to VW Sportsman. John Gallant, #1 qualifier, taking on Justin Foley with Mark II Golf that is cunningly disguised as an Audi TT today. In actual fact, the Golf is actually broken, so he's been in this car all season long. So John Gallant looking for a 17.30, Justin 16 flat. Both got green lights, so it's a battle to the stripe, and it is John taking that on the smaller breakout, 17.13 against a 15.76, so they both went way under, but John is the one that went under by the least. Well, both in pre-stage. Jerry goes in, his dialing is 16.05, he'll be leaving first, gets the green. Bruce Harvey, 14.22, he gets green, but the car stops literally about 15 feet off the start line. So he's going to be pushed back. So as long as Jerry doesn't break out, and stranger things have happened, I've seen it so many times. No, he's safely through. 17.33 at 57 miles an hour. So it is Jerry Sadler who goes into the next round. 18.28, the dial-in for the Lupo. That car will be leaving first. Will be chased by the Skoda. 16.10, the dial-in for Nigel in the Autoglim lane. Well, Nigel's chasing, getting closer, but not close enough. 18.42 takes the win there for Tom Circuit. 16.26 for Nigel. The win margin was 0.6 of a second. It was close. It just looked bigger than that from where we are. But Tom Circuit is through to round number 2. The Thunderbug of Lawrence Clark. 13.75 in the Autoglim lane, but it's Phil Jones that will be leaving first. 15.45 for the Audi A3. Phil Jones with the brake lights on and takes it. 15.53, only 62 miles an hour. Lawrence Clark goes 13.86, but a win there for Phil Jones. Safely through to round number 2. Well, Lottie Bradford unfortunately had an oil seal that wasn't working properly, so oil escaping where it shouldn't. So Don Crawford gets the bye run here. He does in 15. What's he got for us? 15.86. So the Craw Dog through to round number 2. $15 flat, the dial in for Hazel Carter with the Passat. 13.52 for Andrew Bambrick with the Mark II Golf. 1.48 seconds difference between these two on the tree. Well, Andrew's got in front. And backs it off to a 13.93, takes the win. Hazel Carter runs 16 flat on a 15 flat dial. There's Andrew through to round number 2. Laurie Anslow, 17.15 with the Skoda Octavia. Going alongside Reese Finney, dialing in 16.97. Just 1800ths of a second between these two on the tree. And it'll be Laurie that'll be going first. But not a huge difference on the tree there that goes. Oh, Laurie goes too quick. 0-3 red. Reese with the 0-3 green. So obviously Reese taking the win there. So look at the ETs anyway. 17.08 breakout for Laurie. Did everything wrong. Jace, one of those things, mate. Curses. 17.84 for Reese. All right, next up is the 2 yellow cars. You've got the Audi TT of Polly Judge, 16.41, going to be chased by Danny Bean in the little Lupo, 14.11. 2.3 seconds difference on the tree. But then Danny Bean reckons he can go 2.3 seconds quicker than Polly. The idea being whoever crosses the finish line first without going under their chosen number will be the winner. So it's always good to get a good reaction time. And that will certainly help to get into the next round. The win light goes to the 14.76 of Danny Bean. Polly lifted a bit too much there, 16.99 at the stripe. Morgan Wilson with the Beetle taking on Paul Robinson. Good matchup, these two. Both very good racers. Both know how to win. All right, so Paul Robinson in chase mode in the Audi TT. Getting close at the stripe again, and it is a 17.98 for Morgan. Not good enough. 14.79. Win goes to the Audi TT. Paul Robinson into round number 2. Connor Jones and Emma Sadler, your next pair. 1 second difference between them. Connor Jones going first, looking for a 16.50, and then Emma chasing him down with a 15.50. Oh, problems once again for Connor. Just suffers with getting forward motion, basically. $16.43 takes the win there for Emma. Connor Jones eventually getting through there with a 19.51. A good little matchup, actually. Both dialing in 12.75 just to make it interesting. Jake Fronda with the Audi TT-RS and Dan Brioche with the Loco Polo. He is in the Autoglim lane. Oh, the Loco Polo really did launch well, but got a fight on his hands with Jake closing in. Oh, It's a breakout for the Brioche, 1269, 1279 takes the win. And Jake actually did have a better light as well. So well done to Jake. Commiserations to Daniel. All right, your last pair then. Rob Cresswell and Darren Walsh. The Audi A3 taking on the Golf GTI. All right, both of them get the green. So Darren Walsh with the Golf trying to stay in front of a closing in Rob Cresswell. 1672 plays 1640 at the stripe. It's tight. 1653, a win margin of 0-3 for Rob Cresswell there. 1686 for Darren Walsh in his losing effort, but good race that one. Win margin 0.03 of a second. All right, Graham Fairhead then, leader of the points chase in VW Pro, and he's on a buy run here. Dials in 11.10, doesn't matter what he's run, he's taking the green. Goes 10.95, but safely through to the semis. Well, Sam Young taking on Jonathan Newell. And nice to see an 8-second dial-in on the back of BC4. Fantastic 9.04 in round 1 of eliminations from the Beetle in the automatic eliminator. Don't forget, electrically powered. But it'd be the Lagster going first, the Seat Leon. 12.35 dial-in for Jonathan. And Sam Young will be doing the chasing. Oh, a little bit of wheel spin there for Sam. Gathers it back up and gets the win. 9.37 against a lose-out 13.01, but Jonathan Newell did have a bit of a stumble after he left the line. So Sam Young advances to the semis. James Hodson taking on Phil Blogg in next pair. 11.70 dialing for James, 11.70 dialing for Phil. They're going to leave the line together. Well, the tree's going to run at the same time. Whoever gets the better light will leave first, but if they leave too soon, they risk the red. Phil Blogg looks like he's got his nose in front. Difficult one to pull though. Well, Phil did get there first, but he broke out 11.64, so 12.06 for James Hodson takes the win. Last pair, Simon Crowley taking on Chris Waterhouse. It's the Mark 1 Golf taking on the S3. Simon dialing in 10.5. He can run in the 9s, but looking after the car the best he can at the moment. But it will be Chris leaving first. 0.3 of a second difference on the tree. Still problems for Simon Crowley. So Chris Waterhouse books his spot in the next round with 11.75. Right, we move on now to VW Sportsman Eliminations, round number 2. John Gallant taking on Phil Jones. John with the Sirocco dialing in 17.15. Phil Jones with the Audi A3 15.45. So it'll be the Sirocco leaving first in the Kestrel lane. Then the Audi A3 will set off in pursuit. Try and close him down before he gets to the stripe. Well, John was our number one qualifier, got past Justin in round one. Phil got past the Thunderbug. Looking very, very close at the stripe, but it's a breakout for John Gallant. So the win goes to Phil Jones, 15.48 on a 45, and he did have the better reaction time as well. So it is Phil into the next round. Jerry Sadler, Emma Sadler. Emma sent me a lovely message whilst we had the downtime and basically said, if Jerry beats Emma, Emma will be deserving divorce papers. This is husband and wife racing here. So Jerry Darlington 16 flat, Emma 15.50. So is it going to be Jerry? Is it going to be the husband going through, or is the wife going to go through with Emma? Does Jerry want that divorce? Yikes. It's going to be close at the stripe. Oh dear, Emma broke out. Well, she lost that herself. She got there first and broke out. So it is Jerry that goes through. Next up, Andrew Bambrick and Paul Robinson. Andrew does in 13.52, but leaving first, Paul Robinson 14.77. Both away. So can Andrew close down the Audi TT with that Mark II Golf? It's looking very close as they approach the finish line. But it is a, well, look at that. Andrew Bambrick gets there first, breaks out. So the win goes to Jake. Sorry, goes to Paul. Well done, Paul. He's through to the next round. All right, Rob Cresswell, Jake Fronder. 16.40 plays 12.20. 4.2 second difference on the tree. Phil Jones awaits the winner. As they head up towards the finish line, a breakout for Jake. He got there first, but broke out. An 0-1 light. And that's fact, it was a double breakout. Look at that, 16.20 on a 16.40, 11.83 on a 12.20. But Rob, with the lesser breakout, takes the win. All right, Reese Finney taking on John Crawford. Reese dialing in 16.97. His side of the tree will run first, and then 1.01 seconds later, John's will run. And whoever does the best job of getting off the line and getting the job done at the stripe will take the win. Well, Reese in front, John drawing alongside. This will be close. You can hear them feathering the throttle. It's a breakout for John Crawford. Goes too quick. The win goes to Reese. Last pair, Tom Circuit taking on Danny Bean. It's the Lupos. 14.11 for the yellow one, 18.28 for the green one. Right, Tom off and running. Now then, Danny Bean's got to try and close him down. There he goes. Can I have Junior Drag Bike and Nostalgia Superstock into the pairing lanes, please? Junior Drag Bike and Nostalgia Superstock into the lanes. Back to the race. Tom Circuit still got his nose in front. Danny Bean takes the win. 14.27 against 18.40. The win margin, get this one, 0.006 at the finish line. That was super, super close. Eliminations round number 3. Jerry Sadler. Probably been served divorce papers by now, as he beat his wife in the previous round. Taking on Reese Finney. This for a spot in the semis. Now then, Reese looking for a 16.97. Jerry looking for a 16 flat. Or a flat number 16 if Emma kicks him out. Well, it's a breakout for Jerry. 15.90, too quick. And it's Reese Finney that takes the win. Phil Jones and Rob Cresswell, your next pair. Whoever wins this goes into the semi-final where there is a bye run awaiting. So in other words, 2 rounds for the price of 1 here. Phil Jones dialing in 15.45, but leaving first will be Rob Cresswell in the Autoglim lane. Wants 16.40. Green light drag race. Close at the stripe, this one. Double breakout. It's Phil Jones who takes the win. 15.33 on a 45 against a 16.24. The win margin 0.006. It's a double breakout, but Phil takes the win. All right, last pair here, Danny Bean and Paul Robinson. First up, Danny Bean and Paul Robinson. 14.11 plays 14.80. Paul Robinson, very tough customer indeed, doing rather well in the points chase. Still got his nose in front. And takes it, 14.82, sorry, 86 on that 80 dial in. So it's Paul Robinson into the semis. Graham Fairhead taking on Chris Waterhouse. 11 flat plays 10.80. Once again, I'm pretty sure Luke Stevenson will be tuned in somewhere. I was watching Graham Fairhead just run away with the points lead here. Can Graham take it to the final again? Can Chris stop him? Well, Graham took himself out there. A red on the tree for Graham Fairhead. So Chris Waterhouse is into the final. The weird thing is both of them knew what had happened instantly there. So irrelevant what they ran, 11.55 and 12.29, but it is Chris Waterhouse into the final. Right, your other side of the ladder sees James Hodson taking on Sam Young. Now then, James dialing in 11.99. Car is capable of going quicker than that. And how about an 8.90 dial in for Sam Young with the VW Beetle, the electric powered one, of course. Both away well. Close at the stripe, actually. Oh, wow. That is a weird one, actually, because Sam Young is celebrating. That is purely because they just went 8.75. Who cares about the breakout? Phenomenal run, brilliant stuff from them. But it is James Hodson that takes the win. Reese dial 16.97 will be leaving first. Paul Robinson 14.8 with the Audi TT. All right, Reese gets a green light, but Paul Robinson gets a cherry. He goes too quick. It's Reese Finney into the final. All right, let's see if he can run a 16.97. He's already got the win. 17.98. He backed off. He knew he'd got that win. Well done, Reese. Right, and it is going to be Phil Jones. Going to book his spot in the final here. Dials are 15.45. He'll take it through. There he goes. He's got the win. And he gets a 15.75. So that sets up the final. VW Sportsman. Phil Jones, Reese Finney. Look where they qualified, 18th and 19th. Show me a sport where the number 18 and number 19 qualifier meet in a final. But that's what we've got. The dial-ins then, Reese, 16.97. He'll be going first. Phil Jones going to be chasing him down, 15.45. He's stuck with that number all day long. But it's going to be the little Lupo trying to stay ahead of the Audi A3. Well, they look neck and neck at the 8th. Phil Jones just shadowing at the stripe, I think. No, it is Reese Finney that takes that on a 17.64, a 0.005 win margin. Phil had 2/10 in the bag off the line, but got outfoxed there by Reese. Congratulations to Reese taking the win. Right, VW Pro. Chris Waterhouse, James Hodson. Chris dialing in 11.30, but leaving first will be James with 11.50, 0.2 of a second difference in dial-ins. A green light drag racing once again. They look side by side. Who's the bravest at the stripe? It's James Hodson, takes that 11.93 to a loser at 11.52. James had a massive start line advantage as well, and he did what was necessary to take the win. Well done to James.